In this TA Tech Tip, we will review how to load a polymer melt sample for rheological measurements on an AR rheometer. First, we need to install the lower ETC or lower EHP plate. I'm installing the lower ETC for this application. Next, I want to install the upper plate. Remember, after installing the upper plate, you want to perform a geometry inertia. Now we're going to set our heating system, either the ETC or EHP, to our test temperature for your polymer measurements. For example, I'm going to be setting a temperature of 190 degrees C for my polypropylene sample. Now we want to close the oven and heat the plates to your test temperature. Once the plates have equilibrated, perform a zero gap at your test temperature. Once the zero gap is complete, open the oven, raise the measuring head, and place the aluminum melt ring on the lower plate. And I'm going to load some polypropylene pellets. Now that the melt ring is filled with polypropylene pellets, I'm going to lower the measuring head again so that the upper plate makes contact with the pellets and the melt ring. Now I'm going to close the oven and allow the polypropylene to melt. Now that the sample has melted, we can open the oven and remove the melt ring. Remember to lock the air bearing before removing the aluminum melt ring and before trimming your sample to avoid unwanted movement of the sample and the measuring shaft. Now I'm going to lower the upper plate to squeeze my sample a bit more. Close the oven. And now I'm going to lower the plate to a gap of 5% to 10% above my target gap. Now that the gap is set to 1.05 millimeters and the sample has fully melted, you open the oven and trim the excess polymer. After trimming, close the oven once more, wait for the temperature to return to your set point, then we'll lower the head to our final target gap, our measurement gap, and we'll wait for the sample to equilibrate and relax any normal forces. Now, you are ready to perform your melt rheology analysis.